Hi everyone, welcome again to another episode of Discovering Digital Creators. Today we are discussing with Cyber YuYu.
Hello everyone. Today we are discussing with Cyber YuYu. Thank you so much, Cyber YuYu, for being here today. So I would like to know more about your background.
My background, I'm from Taiwan originally, and I moved to Berlin since 7 years. So today is actually my Berlin 7 years anniversary,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
thank you. And originally I studied architecture, but after I moved to Europe, I decided not to do it anymore. But so that's why I started to develop put my creativity into my photography artwork.
And so you mentioned that you studied architecture and then you moved to photography. So what made you decide to explore photography?
In the beginning, I stepped into the photography field. The field is because I was collaborate with different photographer as a model. It's kind of a self-discovery journey, and and I realized that through this photography image artwork, it's easier way to communicate with people, with the audience, and for me, it's a more direct way to really express my idea. So that's why I started to focus on the photography.
And do you, for example, the way, so you mentioned that you feel that you can connect better with people through photography. So kind of like, is it in the way that you arrange the characters, or the way that the angles that you take the photography? How do you convey that communication with the viewer?
For me, it's because I'm more focused on the anthropocentric kind of the view, like I photography human models, including myself, and I put myself as a character into the painting, and I can create a story. I can really put a story into the composition. For example, using the fashion accessory or a different pose to have a different twist to really put the idea into an image. And and for me, that's more direct way through human body and inside a scene and create the full idea and really communicate and in more direct way and instant way, I feel.
That's cool. And where do you find their inspiration for your photography, for your art? How do you come with ideas?
I believe my work is very story heavy
Mm.
story influenced. For example, in the beginning when I create my first series, it's called Kinky Classic. It's more about my personal journey, like how I feel and the journey of self-discovering. And so for me, the emotion and the story, it's very important. And then if and then like use those emotion, those material to inspire myself, and I can visualize the final result as a vision. Yeah.
And I see that you have a lot of inspiration also from old masters like Fragonard. Uh, I have seen also from like paintings from Louis the XIV. So how do you combine that with contemporary photography?
I've been always very fascinated by the European classic art material, and because for me, those composition and lightning, it feels like it's the first generation of the photography. And in the beginning, it's the idea that as an Asian boy, if I put myself into a classic material, it's like a statement, a twist, and it feels like it's a I can be as perfect as the nowadays society's concept. And for me, that's something that really inspired me, and trying to push the boundary and make people think, to challenge people.
To challenge people and in the way that they view the artwork and the
Yeah.
contextualization of it.
Yes, and it's like make something completely different, the contrast, and then can really challenge people to think something deeper, and not just I present a piece of a beautiful artwork. It's something that can make people really taste longer, I feel.
And also, so something also that a subject that you touch quite a lot in your art is the LGBT community. So how do you think art can also improve and bring awareness about the LGBT community?
Yeah, through my works, this topic is heavy influence because I think through my background as a foreigner, come to Europe environments, that there's the journey that I struggled in the beginning. So I feel that's important that if I can use the artwork to raise um raise the representation of each community and really help people to maybe learn something or even realize something deeper through the artwork. So for me, that's exciting and something very important.
Yeah, definitely. I have seen some good initiatives also to help and to support different communities through digital art and NFTs.
Absolutely.
And do you have any artist, any maybe musician or photographer that you really admire and inspires your work?
I think at the moment, there's so many great artists on NFT space, and for example, for I get connected with a lot of amazing artists through this Discord service Hype Squad, and I find a lot of connection, created a lot of deep connection, and really those artists inspire me a lot. And it's really hard to say which one is I admire the most or I love the most because those people basically inspire me every day.
Yeah, that's definitely Hype Squad is definitely an amazing community.
Yeah.
And and in terms of like, for example, like classical, I mean more like classical art influences. What do you like? Like, do you like contemporary art? Do you like minimalist art? Uh,
Oh yes, I'm a lot of modern contemporary artists, for example, graphic designer and stuff. And and I'm not really like really only focused on working with a classic material because for me I'm come from an architecture background. So for me the minimalism for me it's influenced me a lot and I also obsessed with the brutalism and stuff. And so for me in the beginning now I present my work with this classic material. It's just the first step that I express myself. And actually I also try to challenge and work with so many different material and different graphic material and stuff and with some commission work or commercial work. So probably people will see more different side of me than yeah.
that sounds super interesting. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And tell me, how did you encounter NFTs and why did you decide to come to this space?
I discovered NFT it's like in the beginning of this year, and because in 2020 I kind of slowed down my step because of the pandemic, and I kind of have this thing the creativity block in my head, and but my partner, my boyfriend, he's very into this crypto information. He read a lot, and in the beginning of this year he told me this, and he kind of pushed me to say, okay, we have to try and to really learn something about it. And so that's I think around May this year, I start create my Twitter account and start to get to know the artists in this community. And for me, and in the past 3 months, it's like inspiration booster. It's like really bring me back. It's like I have to keep on creating and for me, so the NFT in the beginning for me, it's something that helped me to bring me back to life. It feels like it. Yeah.
So when you discover NFTs, you discover a whole new world of creativity and different crypto artists creating so many different stuff that inspire you a lot more.
Yeah, and also the way the artists interact with each other is, for me, it feels different from the physical art world, actually, because people are so supportive here in this community, and not just like compete with each other. It's really like helping each other to learn and discover this new crypto world.
That sounds fantastic. And do you think, for example, that the traditional artwork world is not as supportive as the crypto art scene?
The feeling that the old-fashioned art world is like you need to have a lot of socializing, really about connection, and the feeling is different. And for me, it's more, I don't know how to say it. It's more in the empty world, something is more personal, and people communicate with you is because of your work. It's your work, not just because how you look or how you present yourself. It's really something deeper. So I think I find it's completely different.
Yeah. And how did you, so at the very beginning when you entered the NFT space, how did you manage to meet people? For example, something that some artists have told me is that at the very beginning they have difficulties meeting people because many communities in the NFT space are secret communities on Discord. So sometimes when they are just starting, it's not as easy to find to find and connect with the people. How was your experience related to that?
I, I think I'm pretty lucky because when I started my Twitter, I just started to share some piece of my work and do some hashtag, and I found some artists through the hashtag, and I think I'm just super lucky. There's some artists follow me back and start to have DM, have some small chat, and then I discovered Hype Squad. And so for me, I'm a little bit lucky. But I think for the newcomer, they just don't need to really scared or worry. Just find discover the hashtag and try to communicate with artists, and you will find somebody you click with. Yeah.
Great advice, and you. And how do you see evolving in the next 5 years? What do you want to explore in this space?
I think for me as an artist, I would really like to try to collaborate with people and try to discover a different art form and push myself to try to work with different media. For example, with my architecture background, I would really try to combine my work into 3D art and stuff, and even push me to touch different issue or go more commercial. And but as a member in this NFT community, I in the next few years, I really hope that I can gather my energy and start to really use my power to or my growth to help the newcomer and really stabilize this community and grow stronger together. That's how I feel.
And how would you like to help the newcomers? Do you plan, for example, creating some videos, which is something that I have seen that many artists are doing, or do you want to have like your own Discord also to help? I'm curious about hearing your thoughts on this.
Because now I still consider myself very new in this community, but I talk with my partner, my boyfriend a lot. He's also very into it. I think the more direct way is like we are trying to think about how can we, for example, host the Twitter space and then really share with experience or find a topic to use this experience sharing through the voice, through the chats, to really help and teach each other and help each other. And that's the first step I could thought about. And for now, in my personal abilities, like I'm trying to just share with my thoughts. If anybody who DM me and need help or share the work and for example, I'm also really honest to the different artists. We share with also the critique and how can we really improve each other in the artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Like that's something that I have seen quite a lot in the NFT space. That there are communities that support people to and give mentoring sessions to share some feedback, some ideas that they can create an action plan and then execute and improve.
Yes, because for me, I feel like probably because from the architecture background, because in the school we learn how to take critique, and so I personally believe the critique is very important. It's something that help you to grow, and I can feel as an artist, the personal level, sometimes you find it's hurting to take critique, but I want this like critique and experience sharing things can be really positive to help each other.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. Like sometimes it's difficult. I mean, I also went to an art school, and I also am able to take critique very easily because it's part of the process of improving your work. I'm a design engineer, but also sometimes it's difficult if you want to help, for example, an artist, and you want to give some critique that is constructive that could help them to improve, but you don't really know how are they going to take it.
Yeah, just sometimes the emotional level you are taking too personal. So I don't know. We have to find a way to really sharing and help each other.
Yeah, definitely. Like critique should always be, I think, constructive and in a way that encouraging to make people go further and improve.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, what do you also collect digital art or NFTs, and what are your thoughts on that?
I recently collect some space poker. That's the project, my first art piece that I collect in the NFT market. And because like I'm also very new, I put my work on the market in the past 2 months, so I'm still have very limited budget, but I would really love to collect artwork on the market because there's so many great artwork, and yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, definitely. So many talented artists. But so why do you decide to for example to join the Space Poker collectible?
Because I had a chance to listen to in the very beginning the space when they have this brainstorming session, and this project I haven't I'm not in the organized team or financial advice or something, but I just share my experience with this project. It's like that trying to push this NFT community into a more commercial level and really help like this community to grow. Not just it's a collectible project. It's a kind of like a long-term project, something I haven't seen in this market. So for me, that's intriguing me. And also, I discovered that in this community now, at the moment, people really constantly inspire each other and try to challenge each other. I think it's pretty fun. So yeah, that's why I jump in.
Yeah, definitely. I have seen the roadmap for Space Poker, and it actually looks quite interesting. Like
Yeah,
I saw that they plan to create an incubator for artists entering the space, which is really nice.
yeah, it's interesting. It's something different.
Yeah, definitely. And do you have any recommendations for people entering this space? Um, what you would have done differently, for example, when you just started?
Mm, this is a hard question because now I'm every time I'm kind of like it's a learning session, but I would say there's people when they join the newcomer, they don't really just trying to reach out to artists to just don't afraid to ask for help because people are always sharing and that's how we grow and help each other and just keep on asking, just don't afraid to ask, and that's how I feel for the newcomer.
So definitely try to meet as many people as possible and connect with them and ask questions.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I'm always a kind of in the beginning, I'm kind of shy and kind of I'm not really like brave to ask people questions and stuff, but I feel this community is very friendly. So it kind of opened my eyes, and I will encourage the newcomer to do so.
Amazing. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Juju. And how
Thank you so much.
do we do if we want to get in touch with you or follow
You
you
can
on Twitter?
you can find me on Twitter, Cyber YuYu, and also my DM is always open. And also I'm on Discord a lot, so you can find me on my channel, on my service. No,
Amazing.
so not a service. Like you can find me on Twitter, DM me. It's always open.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Juju.
Thank you so much.